Hey everyone, Jamie Pate here. Welcome to this memory planner video. This is the part of the show where middle of the month we jump in here, we talk about memory planner, we talk a little bit about Stamp Society, all brand new things that Heidi Swapp has in her shop starting on the 15th of every month. So brand new class, Stop the Blur class, brand new Stop the Blur kit, and brand new Stamp Society. And today is brand new pages in my January memory planner. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so you can see here I have on my table the planner I am currently working in. This is I think it's called Worn Wood. I could be wrong about that, but it's just one of many memory planner inserts that are on the Heidi Swapp Shop site. And this came out late last fall, and I loved it. And I thought it was a great vibe for starting out January. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, our January pages. And I went ahead and decorated the front. It's a little loosey-goosey in terms of my items aren't flat. I got to be careful about that, but you can leave it blank. But I definitely did like having the year on my cover. So that's a little bit about the cover itself. Then you can take a really quick, super easy look here at a month at a glance. I didn't do a whole lot in here, but I did add a lot of elements from new stamps. New January, this was out actually in December, but this was the new agenda stamp for January. And then this was the Stop the Blur stamp that was super fun. And I love these little agenda numbers, the small ones for dating these pages. And so, like I said, not a lot on here, but I definitely do like having something on the page. I've not been great about filling in the month at a glance, so that's like a little bonus there. Who knew we were going to be sharing that today? Then I started the month out pretty basic, nothing super fancy here at all. I used that calendar stamp that was a Stamp Society stamp set that I think is still available that makes this calendar grid, which is super cool. And then a lot of pieces from that January agenda is what's on this page as well. And so I liked this as sort of an introductory page into the month. So let's get into the month a little bit, shall we? You can see here that I stamped this hello using this was from February, the February Stamp Society. No longer available. If you're not familiar with Stamp Society, this is a subscription stamp set. It also comes available 15th of every month, and it's available for the month, and then it goes away, and it usually comes back in about a year later. You can see on the site, actually, there's quite a few stamp sets from previous Stamp Societies, which is super cool. I got to talk about this one for half a second. This was my all-time favorite Stamp Society set. I love this set so much. It's super upbeat. It's got great quotes. It's just very seasonless, and it's great for anything. I mean, tag for someone, a card cover for somebody who needs to be hyped. It's just one of my favorites. So I'm getting off subject here. It does happen so easily. So anyway, the letters here were from this set, and I stamped them on vellum and then added this to the page. I thought it was a fun way to start a new month with hello, and Celebrate was also from the stamp set. This was from the stamp set. And then here is the January planner. Ignore the letters. They weren't actually that color, but really fun, like jewelry tag here, and the clipboards were back. That was super fun. And the currently stamp was from January as well, and a lot of tags too. And this one's literally just tucked in there. Sometimes I do that, and I kind of like just the ease of that. It's a great way to do it interactive, right? Just find a way to kind of tuck it in there. These little circle pockets were a lot of fun and held that photo. And this is just the simplicity of taking paper. This is more than likely, this is the boho. I reached for this collection of cardstock quite a bit, but I actually probably had a scrap hanging around, and I took it and I added a stamped word to it and used that for my journaling for this particular day. And a lot of lettering here from the Alpha set, which was, I do love these new Alphas. They'll be available in all the kits going forward, and they're about a little bit more than half an inch tall. They're just a great size, and they're cardstock, which is great as well. I have more journaling on that same piece of paper. I've talked often, I'm on this, using the same cardstock. I talk often about balancing my pages. And so number one, I've always been really color eccentric. I like to kind of stick to a color as best I can. Sometimes it's kind of hard with the pictures, right? We got a picture we want to add and it kind of throws everything off. And in that situation, I just embrace it, right? And otherwise I do try to balance a lot of things out. So I had this colored paper here. I used it up here as well. And so then, we get down here to this tag. This tag was made for another project, but I love adding these large size tags to my pages, and I added a photo underneath it and some journaling underneath it as well. So it definitely came in use because it's something that's super pretty to put on a page. It's not necessarily utilitarian, right? But because it's a tag, we can make it interactive and add the utilitarian items underneath that. So that's a look at the first week of January, January 2nd through 8. And then we go in here and we're kind of continuing with I'm like, if it works for me, I just keep doing it over and over again. And what I mean by that. So big tag. This was a tag I had made early, I don't know, probably in December even, when the Stop the Blur stamps first came out. And it was literally hanging around. And I try to migrate it to okay, I know I'm going to probably use this in Stop the Blur and make sure I put it in my Stop the Blur basket. And that's exactly what I did. So it was there at the ready. And so it kind of really set the tone for the rest of the page, right? I got a lot of that green blue thing going on this page, and I'm here for it. I love it so much. So I use this tag here, and it had lots of journaling underneath. There's journaling underneath this little hello, I'm easily distracted. Distraction has been a huge thing in my life lately. It really has. And so when I saw this, at first I was like, oh, that's not me. And then I'm like, oh no, that's really me. I'm experiencing a lot of distraction, and it's really taken away from the things I really want to get done. So I love this. I love that this was a reminder of let's not be distracted. Let's focus on the important things. So that's what we're trying to do. Do you think I have a thing about landscape pictures in the sun? I do. I really do. If I'm out on a walk, I'm almost always trying to capture the sun or the landscape. It's just good for my soul. And the thing with this here, I just only have this photo. No, I don't. I lie. There's journaling on the back of it. So I use one of the tags from the kit, and so that just tucks in there. And I wrote priority because I write myself that walking and getting outdoors, even in the winter time, is a priority in my life. This Believe You Can and You're Halfway There is part of the printable, and I made it just tuck underneath here and added journaling right underneath that. This little openable holds another photo, holds my journaling, and then it holds what it is underneath. And it was a basketball game at my kids' middle school. And so that was there. And then again with the paper, right? Kind of balancing that paper out. I believe this is a pocket. And I'm trying to think which class it's from, but it's from Heidi. I think very possibly it is from the January Stop the Blur class. So I'm going to have to wait for that to open up again if you did not purchase that class. But this was a fun little pocket. Little number here, and I just layered on top of it. I layered these photos. I layered these alphas from another month in, I think maybe even May in 2022. So let me answer this question real quick because I get this often. How do I organize my previous Stop the Blur kits? And I know there's a lot out there who are organizing by color, and that would make a lot of sense to me. I just haven't, number one, taken the time to do it. Number two, I'm not quite sure I want to commit to that yet. I will take older kits. Like I still have a couple kits in my stash from 21, and I am starting to go through there and break them up and decide if it's something I'm going to use or not. Because if I'm not going to use it, I don't want it in my stash. So that is something that I do. Otherwise, right now, I can remember what kits go with what components go with what month. And so I'm like, oh, I think in May I had some navy. And so I just went and grabbed that and then I put it back. So I don't know if that helps, but that is just a thing that I do in terms of my kits. I don't know why I don't have journaling underneath this, except that I just didn't need it. And I was still kind of staying with the blue. I mean, in like her pajamas and her eyes. I mean, come on. They needed that little blue thing going on there. Again, the stamp from the January Stop the Blur kit. That was a fun stamp. I love the whole currently. And then just kind of filling things in just as I have need for putting them in. A photo from the day, and always surrounded with journaling. Now, you can see this page quickly processed through. Should be coming up on Instagram here pretty soon. I did process this through. A couple things I want to talk about this page here is, okay, number one, we got a serious blush theme going on here, right? I just started, I think I went with the photos. I actually had to be up at my daughter's, and I think, I'm trying to think what I did in terms of deciding on my color palette, and I think I started with this, and so the blush just happened. And I don't even know if you can really call it blush, because the stamp ink here is the Tattered Rose from Distress. But this color here, this is part of January's kit. This is an old tag. I think it's from the Adventures collection from last summer. And then this pink heart was already a part of the printable. I mean, the cookies just kind of went. I don't know why, but they did. Here's some more paper. This is from my all-time favorite paper pad, the Roses. I'm pulling for that one so often. And so those colors here are from that. I used some of the ideas. Heidi has a tag technique video in January Stop the Blur class. If you haven't watched that yet, you need to. I was using some of those ideas. I used it here, I used it here, I used it here on this page. And so that was not original to me at all. It came from her. And then the little, I wish I could remember what this is called, but it's like a, it's like a mini photo stack. It's only about 2 inches wide. And so this was a fun way to tell more stories that were going on my Friday. This is another tag technique that Heidi shared. And so I added it in here. And this is a piece from, I believe, Carefree, this ledger paper here. And then again, with those clipboards, I mean, because clipboards, do I have one on every page? I don't know if I put one on this. Oh, I did. I have one on every page because clipboards, they're so cute. And then here's another of the pocket the window tag. What do I want to call it? I actually want to call it a window pocket. And then I put the tag in here upside down. Just, you know, just being a little different, talking about the story and adding more to that. Okay, we're going to wrap this up here because my last week is not completely done. And I just want to speak into that for a moment in that, life gets super busy. And while we can plan, and I'm a big planner, I believe we need to have a plan and to follow up plans. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes things come up. Sometimes life happens. Life happens a lot, actually. January was actually a fairly brutal month. There's just things came up that I could not have anticipated. February has not been too much kinder. And so this is what I did to myself. I'm like, you know what? My goal is to make sure I have my January pages done so I can share them in my 15th of the month memory planner video walkthrough. But I was attempting to be kind to myself, and I said, no, you're not going to get that done, and it's going to be okay. I just happened to have this page done. This was like a little point in time here. I totally made some decisions about my hair, which were needed. And so, also you will notice, talking about right here, something that is available right now, and that is the February Stamp Society. I saw this and I got totally overwhelmed, and I actually texted Heidi, can you help me know how to use this? Oh my word. I've had so much fun with this stamp set, and I have several tags that I've made already with it. I'm here for it, man. I'm totally here for this stamp set. It is so much fun. It's got whimsy, but it's got these great positive sentiments that go with them. I just love it so much. So this is the beginning of the last week of January. This is going to have a lot of photos on it already because I was gone to California, hence the CA from a previous catch. And so, if I just get a couple photos on here, I'm going to be so good with that because this was something I thought about, and we're going to wrap it up with this thought. This is something I thought about as I was working on these pages. Something is better than nothing. Wow. So many things can be wrapped up into that. I think at times We kill ourselves thinking our pages have to look like somebody else's. Oh, they're so busy. Oh, they got so much stuff going on. Oh, I got to look just as busy too. No, you don't. No, you don't. You have to put your life in here. If this is something you've committed to, right? This is your life. You add what you want. If it is let's see, the other thing I failed to mention on here is how grid eccentric this page was. Look at it. This is just a grid. It is a photo. It's a sentiment from the printable. It is journaling. It is a photo. It is my quote that I put out this day on Instagram. It is journaling. It is a photo. It is journaling. It is a printable. It is a photo. It is journaling. That's how straightforward this is. Photos, and you utilize what you need to get the more photos on there. And then I used the space for journaling and little sentiment. Journaling, a stamp sentiment from the January stamp set, nothing else because this took over. Photo, journaling. That's all you really need. Guys, that's all you need. I don't want to go on and on about this subject, but I hope somebody who needs to hear it hears that. I know I needed to. I know I needed to realize I do not have to put everything on my page. I don't have to put anything on a page. Wednesday probably won't really have anything here because I got other things that I want to have here. And that's okay. So let's remember something is better than nothing. Enjoy the process. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. Thank you so much for hanging on till the end, and I will see you in the next video.